And so I'm gonna be honest with you. I am extremely happy that Will is finally waking up and seeing this for who she is.
Will then went on a profane tirade warning Chris not to mention his wife's name. Jada couldn't believe what she was hearing.
What is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. I'm like, what is going on right
keep
now?
my wife's name
out of your mouth, right? And I'm like, but now I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on.
What viewers did not see at the time, while Oscar clips were being shown, was Chris Rock leaning over the stage to talk to Jada.
And Chris looks to me and he says, Jada, I meant no harm.
Based on rumors that Jada recently declared their divorce, it appears that Will and Jada are not even capable of sustaining their unhappy marriage for the rest of their lives. Finally, everyone is saying there is only so much you can take in a horrible marriage before you snap. However, what specifically made them both eager to end their collaboration at last? And is it related to the DL accusations that have been circulating for some time regarding Will Smith? It is still amazing how Will and Jada went from being one of Hollywood's most adored couples, with everyone wishing they had the kind of love they did, to being made fun of and fed up with their antics. Recall that they were the epitome of unwavering love in a competitive field not too long ago, but as soon as the entanglement drama aired in 2020, the gig was over. People's perception of them as a couple was completely destroyed, and they were never viewed in the same light again. The entire entanglement caused a lot of drama, particularly for Will, as people could not believe he had stooped to let another guy have such a relationship with his wife, and had even given his approval.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
Nevertheless, Will and Jada strengthened their bond and made it apparent that they will be together for the rest of their lives in spite of the turmoil. However, a lot more things had happened since then that really got people talking about them and their wildlife relationship, even though the two of them tried to give the impression that they were going to work on their marriage or partnership at this time. In 2023, Jada released a book telling all about their relationship and how it had been broken right from the beginning. Now, Will released his own book in 2021, where he talked about some infidelity and tension in their marriage, but Jada's book blew it straight out of the water. She disclosed that they had been living quite different lifestyles since 2016 and had been separated in all but name. Nevertheless, Jada said that she was staying put in the relationship because she had made a vow to Will before they were married that there would never be a basis for divorce, even if she had steadily grown dissatisfied with him. Divorce, never. Separation, yes. And for this very reason, they chose to settle on a partnership rather than a traditional marriage and proceeded to get married without a prenuptial agreement. Because of their strong brand together and their advantage as a power couple, Will and Jada did not see the need to end their relationship. However, things got a little ugly with his partnership and separation, because it appeared that Will Smith missed the memo and that there was no marriage left to fight for. People were side-eyeing the entire scenario, while Jada was stating that they had been apart for some time and were seeing other people romantically. Will Smith was involved in what was likely the biggest scandal of his career just before Jada's book was out. He went on stage and slapped Chris Rock for his G.I. He made a Jane joke about Jada. It was clear when the entire incident was replayed that Will initially approved of the joke, but as soon as he saw Jada's reaction and knew she was not amused, he strode up to Chris and urged him to stop his mother from uttering his wife's name. And Will was appropriately pursued by everyone. He lost a few brand deals, was cut from several of the films he was starring in at the time, and had to release an apologetic video to begin repairing his reputation. You know what Jada did though? When her book was published, she essentially claimed that she had nothing to do with everything that happened and completely distanced herself from what Will Smith did.
Like, I can't force Will to do anything.
And you and Will weren't together.
We weren't together as, We were family. I
Yeah.
was there with him as family, but we weren't together at that time.
And that made people's tongues taste foul. It is one thing to disagree with his actions in private, but the fact that Jada did not even attempt to defend Will in public, as he was doing for her, it made the internet realize that Will was the only one in the marriage, and that Jada had truly checked out of the situation. Nevertheless, Will continued to be there for her, and he made it plain that he would continue to be there for her for the rest of his life. But since then, Will and Jada have rarely been seen out together unless it's something to do with their family. Will just dropped a new album and was seen performing on the streets of London like he was out touring or something. He even got very steamy with singer India Martinez on stage with everyone watching. They were all up on each other, and there's even pictures showing India backstage trying to jump into Will's arms like he isn't a married man. The two of them are pretty much Instagram official, and it looks like they spent a lot of time together. Will Smith, after all, is doing everything but sitting at home and finally working on his terrible marriage to his wife. However, rumors have it that Will has been away from home a lot because there is nothing else to work on.
The PR of it all, the life partnership is not working. He has a woman that he's in love with, and she is not black. And he is now talking to lawyers. The issue, and so he is setting up to divorce Jada.
Will has been under intense scrutiny ever since Jada and August Alsina's involvement became widely known, and his reputation and acting career have been severely tested. People no longer view him as someone who has his act together because of the numerous instances of public humiliation he has endured.
Dear Will Smith, someone has said Jada don't want you no more. You know, when she bought the farm in Maryland and she decided that that was going to be her thing, you should have left her right here in the good state of Maryland. Let me tell you why. I think Jada married Will because obviously he was like a great catch, right? It's Will Smith. He's on the precipice of being this major superstar. He accomplishes all of those things. And I think she was pressured from family and friends and outside influences. I don't think it's what Jada wanted to do. Jada is not happy with herself. I think now that she's promoting her book Worthy and she's getting more in depth about her relationship with Tupac, that was platonic. But at one point he did ask her to marry him. She turned him down. So then he friend zoned her. I think that's one of the biggest regrets of her life. And so Will is paying for all of that because Jada picked her second choice. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a consolation prize. Like, okay, I'll take Will.
Will's career and brand, however, have held up well in spite of all the criticism. You could even argue that their entire marriage has caused the most harm to Will's reputation to date. Jada has not done anything, at least not in public, to maintain his brand. According to other reports, Will even came to the realization that he might not need his marriage to work out as severely as he had anticipated, and that he is happier outside of it than inside.
And so I'm gonna be honest with you. I am extremely happy that Will is finally waking up and seeing this for who she is.
Word on the street is that the way Will's been moving, especially the kiss he had with India, is also the last straw for Jada. It is also likely to be a nasty divorce because they do not have a prenuptial agreement. Nevertheless, everyone can agree that this divorce took a long time to occur. I will keep saying this forever. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett are what happens when you settle. Just because they like you doesn't mean it'll work. You both have to like each other with the same fervor. It's the happiest I've seen Will Smith. He just needs to tidy things up, like get a divorce and run for the hills. If they get divorced, it might be the best news, and they can finally be free from each other. Their children are adults. Is it your opinion that Will and Jada will actually go the last step and file for divorce? I hope to see you in the future video, so please leave your opinions in the comments section